Don't start. All right, good morning, everyone. Let's come closer. In our previous classes, we have done some concepts in history of education, and I want to believe that we have done concept of history of education in Nigeria, where we talk of what history is all about, what is education, then what is history of education. Then we also talk about the source of history, primary source of history, secondary source of history. Those are the things that we have done. Then talk about the concept of education, then form of education, formal education, informal and non-formal education. Then we talk about the history of education today, the importance of history of education. Then okay, it's not there. Then we've done Nigerian traditional education. Okay, which we talk of the aim of traditional education and characteristics of traditional education. Yes, and okay. Now classification of traditional education.
We also look at types of higher education in international society.
Yes.
That was where we stopped.
Okay.
That's where we stopped.
Okay. Types of higher education in the traditional society. That's where we start. Where we look at the secret courts, the traditional medicine,
Yes,
the
and divination.
herbalism,
Yes.
massaging, faith healing, and the like.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And we are going to talk briefly concerning the Islamic education.
That's what we're talking about today.
Yes,
Islamic education.
yes, Islamic education. Let's talk about that briefly. Then we move on to the advent of Western education in Nigeria. Then, when we are talking about the Islamic education, so we are trying to look at the philosophical concept of Islamic education, that is, from the ordinary man perspective, reflection of the people's worldview, like Islamic education is a process of asking particular question in a particular area. I can say okay, that is the philosophical thought. Then when the Holy Quran lays emphasis on various values which compel on Muslims, this include honesty, truthfulness, justice, humility, and the like. That is, before the Western education, Islamic education has been in existence before the Western education. after our traditional, after our own traditional things that we have in the olden days. We have traditional, but that is what we have then. Then after that, the Islamic, they were there. Why they teach our people the Quranic, they teach them how to recite Quran, the meaning, and then also before that, it is the, okay, let me look quickly the aims of Islamic education. That the major aim of Islamic education, according to the Quran, is to build up the individual who will act as Allah. You know, when we look at the Bible too, we are only teaching us the way of what Jesus Christ asked us to do, which they, that is why some people believe that the Christianity and the Islam, the Quran and the Bible, they are preaching the same thing, but the way we are doing it is different. Are you getting it? It is only when we study some philosophical ideas of Islam and Christian, we will believe that we see that both religions are saying the same thing, but the way we worship our gods may be different. We are calling the same God. Because that is why you find out that in some cases in Islam, they will tell you so names, and you still see in the Christendom that that name in Islam is still the same thing in the, because they will tell you the name in the Bible. Isa in the Islam is Jesus Christ, and they will tell you that all what Isa do in the Quran is still that same thing that they bring into the Bible, which is the same thing. Like Musa in the Quran is also the Moses that we know. Thank you, sir. It's also the Moses that we know in the Bible. If you look at all the things Musa did, backbiting ourselves religiously, while trying to preach that it is my own that is, it is your own that is okay. It's because with this knowledge of education that you are receiving now, you will know how to balance those religions. So that when some people are talking that okay, my own God is the Kinekon, is the Kinekon. That is why you see some prophets, some alpha, they can quote so many verses in the Bible, and they will still tell you that this is what this thing is talking about in the Quran. It is the knowledge of this our education that all of us in this whole world need to understand. So that, in fact, after in Nigeria we have the Muslim, the Christianity, and the traditional. What of other countries that they have Judaism, they have Hindu, Hebrews, and if you tell me, they will tell you that their God that they are serving is still the same thing that the God you are serving. I told you some stories sometimes ago, I don't know, that when I was still in my during my school days in University of Ibadan, that they took us to some to Osun Osogbo Shrine. I don't know if I've shared it. Can you remember? They are telling us that all these prophets that you have in the Bible and the Quran, they show us a sample of a statue that they have already, the artifacts that they have already done, and they still tell you that the work this one is doing now is still what the name that we are calling the Bible and in the Quran. But I told you that they show us a name, Jesus Christ. And when you now see, they said when Jesus Christ died and he rose up and he, hey, imagine, I did not see it. When Jesus Christ died and it's time to rose to the, after 2-3 days,
Ascend to heaven.
ascend to heaven, they show us something. That this is when he is. And the name that they used to call Jesus is Ella. You know, it is education. That is the Ifa, the traditional worshippers. Ifa we call Jesus Christ. You know, they always mention, if you used to watch movies, Elarowa, Elarowa. Bá a fọmọ lójú àríná, Elarowa. You know, those names, that name in Ifa is Ella. But when they now say that Ella is Jesus Christ, you see, we need to understand education will show more light to so many things, that so that it is the reason why you are acquiring all this knowledge is for you to be able to, in case of next, maybe some other times in future, when they are arguing, you should, the education you are receiving now should be telling you that I think you are now a learned person, so you don't need to argue blindfoldedly to say my own religion is this, my own religion is this. If your own religion save you, then I know my own religion too save me. Are we getting something now? So the aim of this Islamic education is to build up the individual who will act as, you know, when you want to preach in the church too, you say you want to teach people the way of God, you want to teach people the way Jesus Christ we say we should do. So you can see that what these people are saying here is still the same thing that what we are preaching in our various churches. Are we together? In not okay. Please sit down, sit down, sit down. But you can come to the front instead.
Jesus Christ, my parents they are Muslims. In the Bible, Jesus Christ was some people and their faith and their faith. But in the Muslim way, when they want to go to home, they always look at people like themselves.
Well, I may not be able to share more light on that, but I can equally act because I'm a Christian.
Okay, sir.
Then there are some Muslim brothers that they can tell you how they, what propelled them to be washing hand, and if you now see it, they will tell you that Jesus Christ sef took some people to so place, wash their hand, he wash their head, their legs, and he now ask them to do some prayer. You know, when you try to read some verses in the New Testament very well, when you try to read some verses in the New Testament very well, you now see that you can now imagine your own action. Why quarreling? It is lack of knowledge, lack of education that make us to do some things at times, ignorance. Because when you study those two things there, those two reasons, to just tell them that our own is the best. Anyway, we will still ask those our brothers later. Then the content of Islamic education, that is, Quran is a holy document for all Muslims. I said content of Islamic education, that's the subheading. Content of Islamic education is the subheading. Now, a holy document for all Muslims. For all Muslims. Full stop. Islamic education is drawn from. It is the reference point from where the totality of Islamic education is drawn. So that is, what is that one is telling us, is that whatever they want to preach to us, it is from the Quran. They are going to take it, and they will share light to preach it to us. So it is only Quran that they make use of, which is the only reference point which they can refer to. As far as the Christianity, we have Bible. Are we getting the information? Yes. Quran is Quran. 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 Yes. So now on this one too, we have Arabic syntax, Arabic continuation, yes. Arabic syntax, syntax is Syntax. Arabic syntax and morphology, logic, evolve, the protect, evolve to protect the Quran, evolve to protect the Quran from ungrammatic utterances, ungrammatic utterances by foreign speakers. That is ungrammatic utterances by foreign speakers. If you look at it very well, you will know that the Quran was written with Arabic. What this one is telling us is that what we are trying to say here is that Quran is written with Arabic language. Why not English? Why not which other language we have? French or Yoruba? Which one do you want to call it? They also have in Itumo meaning of Itumo means the meaning of those Arabic Quran. When some people, those Muslim Afar people, when they learn the Quran Arabic, when they finish, they will say, ah, now it is the meaning. They want to go and learn. That is the interpretation of those Arabic. So it is from those people they now translate those Quran Arabic to English, you see, to another language that you just think, just like Bible. I don't know. I don't think Bible was written in English form. Yes. You just it is when they interpret it. Then I'm talking. It is when they interpret it that we have to.
They are not twisting. I think that's what people are trying to avoid.
Muslims are trying to avoid. Yes.
Because people add
You have not understand what we are trying to say here. What we are trying to say here is that the Quran, Muslim people are saying that they want to protect the Quran from the ungrammatical utterances from foreigners. It is when they have already translated Bible. It is the translated Bible that we are using, everybody in the whole world.
There are some things that are omitted. There are some things that are omitted in the Bible.
The translated one is what we are using.
If you read, Eve was not the first wife of Adam. That Eve was not the first. If you read all these Catholics, all those Pope, Catholics, they have their Bible. I'm telling you, the Bible is not complete. It's not complete.
So, what we are trying to say here is that the Muslim people are trying to protect the Quran. They don't want you to have New Day Star, New International, British, the old one, the old thing ahead. That is why the Muslim brother and sister, then you can go and do the meaning interpretation. Yes. All these Arabic all these Arabic lexicographic development that we have in it shows that the content of Muslim to adhere strictly to tenets of the religion. What is that one is talking about is that they purposely and jealously preserve the Quran. Because if they try to have another language, a lot of version, we have NIV, King James, the Oduduwa, the whatever, yeah, word, jealously protect the Quran. That is why they did not, they stick with just one. Are we together? Yes. So another book of relevance which further guides the content of Islamic education is the Hadith. After they have Quran, they also have what we call Hadith. The Hadith is always for those young ones, those our little children. Madrasa, yes. You know, those Hadith, sometimes, probably when you finish Hadith, you may want to go and do Quran. I think you finish one before another. So that's another book that we always use as a Muslim. Then it contains all the things that our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it contains whatever thing, all the things that our Muhammad says were inside the hadith.
Who is Muhammad?
Prophet Muhammad is their, just like Jesus Christ. Are you getting me? It is just they are saying Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. They have their own prophet too, which is Muhammad. So that is why you see when you are in a Muslim.
So their prophet is Muhammad.
Yes.
God is Allah. Who
Yes.
say God? Who say Jesus?
Yes. So when you now say, when you say, okay, Prophet Muhammad, they will say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There is no way you want to say our Prophet Muhammad anywhere Muslim. They say before you finish it, other people will say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They will not want you to just call it. It is an honor to the name, which give them joy, give them anything that they want. So if you did not put that Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they might want to query you, or they might want to say maybe you did not believe in that name. So yes, ma'am.
If you see the way Christians are behaving, calling Jesus, somebody will do it on the face, they'll say Jesus. I think that's why Muslim people, they, that name, oh my God.
Yes.
That name, Muslim people respect it, but when Christians, some people do not wish Jesus.
They can't just call. Islamic education also covers, Islamic education also covers other areas of study. Islamic education also covers other areas of studies in education. Sorry, in economics.
Studies in economics.
In economics, social sciences, social sciences, medicine, medicine, pure science, arts, and so on. So Islamic education also covers those areas: the economics, social sciences, medicine, pure sciences, arts, and so on. Those are the other areas that Islamic education also covers. So, method of Islamic education. The most acceptable approach to teaching in Islam is humanistic. The most acceptable approach to teaching in Islam is humanistic. Full stop. Educators in this area are urged to be gentle in approach. You should not be too harsh. That is, educator in this area are urged to do what? Are urged to be gentle in approach, lenient, lenient in method, and compassionate in interactions.
So we are not educators
In this area
in this area
are urged to be gentle in approach, lenient, lenient in method, and compassionate in interaction. Full stop. Now let us ask ourselves, those our educators in this regard, are they all what we have here?
some not all.
Some. Hmm. Some. Some of them, some of them are lenient, some of them are compassionate, while some of them are gentle in their manner of approach. Okay? Likewise, in Christendom too, we have all these too to qualify them. Those people that are teaching what Jesus Christ asks us to preach, the gospel, you should be able to be lenient, gentle in your approach, and you should be compassionate in whatever thing that you do. The Holy Quran, and right, the Holy Quran recommended the following method precisely. The Holy Quran recommended the following method precisely. That is, for you to teach, for you to be able to teach in Islam, these are the following methods. To tell you that before the advent of Western education, all this teaching and learning of a thing has been existent. And that is what we are teaching us, even in the olden days when our forefathers are still worshiping their gods. But when the Western education came, the Western education just modernized those things for us. We are not that. Even when we are still doing Islamic, we still teach. What are those methods? Storytelling. Storytelling. Yes. Those methods that Islamic recommended for us. Storytelling, use of questioning, use of questioning, questioning, use of questioning. Yes, 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 yes. Metaphorical expression. Metaphorical metaphorical expressions.
See L or N.
Early
Expression.
expression, yes. It also recommended the following strategies. He has recommended the way you can teach. Those are the ways. Then the strategies that you can use during this all those teaching include Repetition. Strategies. You did not write again.
Sorry.
The following strategies include
This includes repetition,
repetitions, illustrations, demonstration, field trip, field trip. Field trips means excursion. Field trip, yes. Punishment and reward. Punishment and reward.
together, right?
Yes. Among others. Punishment and reward among others. Let me stop from that there. Then let's quickly look at so that we can call it a day. Advent of Western education. The advent of Western education, which we are going to look at which we are going to look at the early missionaries and the development of education in Nigeria. Early missionaries and the development of education in Nigeria. Let me ask you these questions. You are a Christian. You are a Christian. Where does the Christianity come from in Nigeria here? Where did they?
Missionary.
From where? From which country? The Christian.
Okay, the missionaries that came
the
into
Christian,
Nigeria.
The Christian missionary that came to Nigeria. Where did they come from?
That's a good question.
European.
I don't want to guess. Sir, I don't want to guess. I don't know. I will not lie to you. Because they are the ones that have colonized us.
The colonized us does not mean that
It's a particular.
it is not when they colonize us that we have those two religions. Those religions has been existent before the colonization of it.
That's a good question. Do you know that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't lie to you.
Thank God you are here today.
Yes.
The Christian missionary from Sierra Leone and Britain began the activities in Nigeria in 1842.
Explain. I'm not writing yet.
Sierra Leone and Britain, they are the one that brought the Christianity activities in Nigeria in 1842. So the focus that time was on evangelism. That's their focus, which necessitates the early mission schools, which necessitates the early mission schools. These units or the early missionary in Nigeria is between 1842 and 1882. Those are the time they did that evangelism and they brought Christianity to Nigeria. Let us go. Let's move further. Probably we are going to let's just be listening instead of copy. It's better you be listening than
I've known that it's from Sierra Leone and Britain in the year 1842. So what year? I don't know.
1882. However, the 1842 Christian missionary entry into Nigeria was not the first. You should try to demystify those information. That was not just the first that they want to enter as a Christian, but they brought the Christian missionaries to Nigeria. They introduced it to them at 1842. 42. It is important to note that as early as 1472 that the Portuguese merchant has visited Lagos and Benin by 1485. Invariably, the Christianity that we are talking about now, it is not just that they brought the Christianity 1842, but that was when they started the missionary schools. Nigeria. Operation practice. So the Christianity has been introduced to Nigeria as far back as 1442, 1472, which was brought to Lagos and Benin by the Portuguese. Are we getting something? That is why you will see that it is those Catholic churches were the Calabas. There's nothing you can do. There was last month I traveled to Edo State and I spent like 3 weeks or 4 weeks there about. I just returned recently to Edo State, Ekoma.
Oh, Ekoma.
That's your place.
You know,
That's their background.
my younger brother lives in Auchi.
Yes.
And when I travel there,
So, sincerely from me to that Ekoma, no road. It is Ekoma University I went to, Ambrose Ali University. I was there for official assignment. But they are doing the road now. But they are even they are coming from that Auchi side. They pass before they passed in front of the school. So they are going towards to Benin, yes. So what am I trying to say that everybody in that Ekoma, I can only see two churches, two churches there, the Catholic and Jehovah Witness. No, the Auchi people, they are all Muslims, and they beard Yoruba names. Yes, and they did not hear Yoruba. They were they call them Akoko
Edo, Igala.
And they beard yes, they beard Yoruba. All of them beard Yoruba, and they did not hear Yoruba. And the Yoruba literally with the meaning of our own name. I have at least some of my friends that I make there. I have somebody called Yusuf. I have somebody called Brahimo. That's their surname. Yes. Yes. Adamu. The normal Yoruba's names, Yakini. That's their surname. But there is a friend of mine that I'm thinking of calling sef today. A woman like that that we met together there. A Muslim, a Christian, but maybe it's Muslim name, but it's just the Muslim name sha. And if you talk to them, they did not get Yoruba. Babalola, Balogun, honestly, I have them. So when I heard that name in the office that I went to, I was like, ah, thank God.
You have your
I have my
brother.
so when we now met face to face, now say they did not hear what I'm saying. Say, and you are hearing, so I was
I'm not their name like that Babalola now. Is it the same
same
meaning?
spelling, the same meaning. Agbola is there.
Those that migrated were Yorubas that
It's
migrated,
possible.
but somehow when they intermarried, those ones that died, there was no continuity.
It might be that Edo State. You see the camp, just like redemption camp.
Yes.
So I was like close to that Benin, Ekuma, Ochiwo. So I was just like, it is when you did not live where you are, you will not know that. You think you are the plenty life continues. In fact, it was when I traveled to those areas, I was just like, and they are doing very, 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 very well. Thinking of you are the one that's enjoying it. Go to other places, other states. But you might want to
I thought
relocate.
when I travel, I didn't want to come back to Lagos. It's a place to stay.
So they have the discipline. They are fetish.
But their fetish.
Yes. Yes, now.
When you are living with them, you just have to be very careful.
Exactly. That's the language. No, 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 no. Leave those ones.
And they left where
Don't you know that off record? Don't you know that the where Yahoo people originated from is from Ecuador. In fact, I saw many things that I did not see. I heard so many things. So, they, of course, as you do, yeah, I can't say. So, by 1485, they had started trading activities with the people of Benin. Consequently, by 15, by 5115, that is 15th century, the Catholic missionaries, through the influence of Portuguese, traced and established a primary school. So that is why we know that it is the Catholic church that was first established in Nigeria. And you will now see that it is in those Benin, Edo, that this thing they cannot. In fact, there is no any. You might not see much churches like Lagos. You will see redeem. You will see their own there. So it is the Portuguese trade and established a primary schools in the Oba's palace for the children of the Obas and chiefs. They brought the schools to that Oba palace, that Benin. So the chiefs, all the chiefs and the Obas, they are the one they are just taking care of. They are the one taking care of. They are just taking care of their children. So, and they were all converted to Christianity. And the Catholic missionary activities also extended to Brass, Bayelsa, Akasa, Brass in Bayelsa. You know there is a local government in Bayelsa that is called Brass. There is a local government in 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 Bayelsa that is called Brass. Warri, where churches and schools were established. Of course, that's how to catch. That's how to enter now. You know now.
They were very, very
Yes, now.
yeah.
That is how to catch somebody when you want to. You first of all give them something, and you now take. That's how they took many things in Benin. The story still exists. Yes, it is now. I was told sometimes ago that they are getting those things back. Yes, when these new obas came, that is like they were trying to bring those things back to Nigeria. Because when they came, this year is the original, is the real one they took from us.
But I mean the Christianity they bring. You okay? You mean those foreigners?
Yes.
Yes.
If you see some country now,
Some of them, like
they don't
Finland,
believe
no
all these
Finland.
ones, all these things that you
Finland
are.
is a pure Catholic country.
Because there was a time my husband was on the internet and there was a video of a man speaking about this Christianity stuff. He said even Christ was a black man. Some people said so. They said he's from Africa. He's an African. He's an African. But it doesn't matter. Those who from
You will see in some countries they did not even believe Jesus, whatever.
Maybe like China. When people come God, say they worship him slave. That is in China. China.
So it is.
but even this Israel,
It has reached. It has Christianity is in China.
Okay,
It has reached. Yes, it has reached China.
North Korea, he said
You know they have the largest population.
that on something like this,
They have the
just
largest
be.
population.
I'm telling you, my
Don't you know that it is Africa?
and I said,
It is Africa.
this school that they call Jesus stuff, that people, Nigerians now, the way they gave it to us, the way we embrace it, and the way we carry it.
They used to say that or a pastor, a bishop is not valued in his own hometown. So it's way that old. The way we used to.
And I said, they were just guys, our brother. Like the story of Jesus in Nazareth, he was not.
I told them that.
Yes, when my dad told me, he said, as in they didn't take exactly that when they get to the tomb of Jesus, that you know Christian in Nigeria Christian, then that those other people are just looking at them that
This was doing.
Let's look at the reason for European penetration into Nigeria.
As I will not take anything on this one.
It does not matter. Just if I said question, it will be the question that will go with what you have heard. Yes, now. It does. You don't need to disrupt yourself from what we have been discussing now. Is what we are. If you see it in the exam, then you can easily this one is this one. It's just information. Like when they brought the thing was brought by Sierra Leone and Britain, 1842. Those are the information that you need. Sorry. Then it has been in existence since that is 1442, 1472. Then those are the information that we need. Then let's look at the reasons for European penetration. Now, the way they now reason that make them to penetrate us. Take bread, collect, trade by barter. Industrial revolution. You know when they cajole you, see, we will give you this, we will turn this place to this, we will turn this, give us this thing. That's it.
I read it. What did they give the Baba? They gave him umbrella. And that umbrella looked at the umbrella that they used to usher house up and down.
All the kings use it.
And he gave them, Jesus gave them in return that umbrella and the rest.
So the Industrial Revolution, which began in Europe in the 18th century, challenged them to look for markets to buy raw materials and sell their manufactured products. You know, Africa became central in their hope for this transaction. That's the mindset first. That don't worry, get a market, we will bring things for you. And buy well.
Yes.
You know, those things that they, those things that those things that they brought to us, then don't worry, we'll bring these things. You can use it for this. You can use it. AI is now, you know, they have brought AI again. Everybody is now artificial intelligence. By fire, by thunder. There is nothing you can do. Are you getting it? So they sent explorer to West Africa with Nigeria, inclusive between 1795 and 1850. Great impact had been made in the exploration of the continent of Africa by men like Mungo Park. How many of you have read about Mungo Park book? That will be an assignment for all of us. Try as much as possible to read. You can put it down. Mungo Park. You can read about it. Those are the African people that so Mungo Park, Clapperton, Landard Brothers, and Heinrich Barth. Those people, they are the people from Africa. They are the people from Africa that we can read from. The feedback was very encouraging. Those are the people that they sent to go and learn from those European people from that 1750 to 1850. Trade. You know, they are the one that is okay, don't worry, give us some people. We go and train them. Yes, all this market that we are doing, we do not know anything about market before. Our own that we know before was, I have yam, collect beans. I have rice, let me give you beans. I have garri, let me give you cassava, let me give you corn. That is what we used to do. I have money, you need money, I will give you yam. We don't know that you can go to the market and sell those things for people for you to get money. It is these same people that brought all those ideas. You can sell and you know, when you sell you see gain. You can have what you buy, you can resell, and you too buy, you resell, you have your own. Are we getting something? So another one is anti-transatlantic. The first one is industrial revolution. The second one is anti-transatlantic. Anti-transatlantic. After the law abolished slave trade by the British, you know, it is these British that stopped the slave trade. The parliament, there seems to be no end woman trade in even in West Africa. That is, those people that they do trade, you know, those days, they kó àwọn èèyàn lẹ́rú gan. Whether you have done trespass, you have done anything to the law, the land of the law, they will just say, yeah, they will take you, chain everybody. It is these Western people, the European, that say you have to put a stop to this. We are all human. You are a human being. I'm a human being. You don't need to put anybody on the slave to let them just, you know, but thank God, because when they want to do that slave whatever, they have to send them across the river. to another country, of which there is no way you can say you want to come back. How do you want to come back? Do you want to jump the water? Did you want to, how do you know? You just think that, well, there is no any, that's the end of life. Whatever that happened, happened. Because you cannot even say you want to enter sea, everyone, beach. You want to just, you can, you that cannot even if you know how to swim, can you swim for almost pray with days, even hours inside the sea? It is not possible. It is not so. So the first school of thought hold that the European industries were worried that the slave trade would affect the production of raw materials. That is why they stopped the slave trade, because they think that that slave trade, it will affect the production of the raw materials. Everybody will be panicking, will be afraid to come and buy and sell. So they have to think of how to stop the slave trade. Owó ẹrú, àbí? Now, oya, you go and work, serve as a some people. Ẹlòmíì wọ́n ti ta á dànù than those period you cannot even have any family again. Ẹni tó ti kó lẹ́rú, they have sent them to another country, say bye bye, you do not even think of you have for any family again. Are you getting me? So they have to think of how to stop that, for them to be able to have a smooth transaction of the raw materials and the likes. Then the second school of thought opined that the move was championed by some religious denominations in Europe, who believed that slave trade was morally wrong. Slave trade was morally wrong. To these missionaries, the continent should be penetrated with the word of God, so as to change their orientation from vices. They started preaching that God does not want it. You are like this. They started preaching moral, preaching to them, for them to be able to realize that the slave very wrong. Then what are the activities? Okay, what are the churches? Then the churches, let me just put that. We have Samuel Ajayi Crowther. Many of us are used to those are our father in Christendom. That they are the bishop in those first churches. Then we have Reverend C.A. Goldman and Henry Townsend from the Church Missionary Society. Those ones arrived at Badagry for missionary work. Those three people in 1846, where they funded the two schools, one for boys and the other for girls. The Presbyterian, those are the first church, and I don't even think maybe those churches exist again. But it is not this St. Thomas church. No, not the man, no, the church. So, and Presbyterian mission arrived at Calabar and established a station there in 1846. So that church was established in Calabar then. Then the Southern Baptist Convention. We have this, okay, we have some missionary bodies too. The Wesleyan Methodist Society, the Church Missionary Society, the Baptist missions, the Roman Catholic missions, the Presbyterian Church of Scotland, the Primitive Method Missionary Society, and the Kwa Igbo Mission. Those are the missionaries bodies that we have in them. Then
How about Methodist? Is it part of the Methodist?
yes, Primitive Methodist Missionary Society. Methodist was there too. Baptist was there. Catholic was there. Even Anglican. Those are the first churches that we have
Pentecostals.
before
Pentecostals.
the Pentecost we with the Pentecostals. Because I don't think none of you that are here can even say you want to go to any of this.
No, my parents were Baptist. I was the one who joined Redeem.
When that is
Let
very
me tell you what they did to me. Not all Redeem, not all Redeem. Know yourself, oh, forget to. I say it's not all. I say know yourself, don't go to yourself. Trust no God nowadays. Trust yourself. Even yourself, you don't trust yourself. You can't about you, no problem now.
so. Let us go and read Mungo Park. Let us Google Mungo Park. Let us Google Mungo Park in your own leisure time at home. Then you can read on it. So on this note, I want to say thank you. Our lecture is not by to write notes. It is history, just for you to get some information that can be useful later on. Thank you. God bless us.